Yes, I know y'all are tired of seeing me talk about this chick, but it's actually more than about just talking about her. It's about talking about the people that actually follow her lead or whatever the case may be. So, excuse me. If y'all haven't heard, they're releasing, or maybe they rolled out, or maybe they haven't. I'm not entirely sure. And I actually posted this up on my Twitter account. So if you follow me on there, you will already know where I'm headed with this. They're talking about releasing this phone called the FreeDUMB Phone, which the title of this video is a play on words with the title of this phone. And the Coonstress herself, the grifting princess, as I gave her another title, is now one of the lead endorsers or supporters and pushers of this phone. And many people have been saying this phone is one big scam, like one big ass scam. And of course, people are going to eat it up because, to have this phone would mean that you're so patriotic or patriotic, and it's independent and it's going away from things like Google and iPhone and Android, or Android and Google are pretty much linked, and other things. But when you really read into the specifications or lack thereof of it, you'll know or find out that is not all it's cracked up to be. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from PC Mag. The title reads, "The FreeDUMB Phone Smells Like a Stupid, Cynical Grift." It was posted July 17th, 2021. With no specs available, we'd put money on it being an overpriced OEM Android phone running a skin. Americans who really want freedom and privacy can do better. Now, hopefully they go into details about this thing, because if you actually go to the website, it actually lists right there what this phone has and does not have. And what it does not have should be a red flag for you to not purchase this phone at all. Free speech is important. Privacy is important. Both are vital to a healthy society and a healthy internet. Ensuring our ability to do what we want with the technology we purchase without having our data tracked or sold is one of the biggest problems facing the tech world today. It's an ongoing problem and a constant fight, and everyone should work hard to both know and protect their rights both online and with their devices. On a completely separate subject, the FreeDUMB Phone looks like a colossal grift that preys on people who are technically illiterate and legally ignorant. Basically, if you think about it, this phone is not geared towards people like someone around my age or younger. This is for people who are up in age, probably retired, and maybe, in them AARP years. It smells like a massive cynical con job designed to overcharge customers by at least 400% while taking advantage of their lack of understanding in how phones work, how the internet works, and how free speech works. I'm going to pause here so you can scroll down and comment angrily below. It's okay. Oh, never mind. Let me not read that part. They basically just got into the comment section. I was like, I hope that's not the end of the article, because there's way more to it than that. Personal politics aside, this pet project from the world's youngest Bitcoin millionaire seems to offer nothing that any other Android phone can't already do, just with faux freedom marketing and the assumption that its users have no idea what it means to sideload an app. Whatever you believe in, however you vote, it really looks like the FreeDUMB Phone is designed to cynically take advantage of you. One note before we dive into it: these observations are all based on what has been revealed about the FreeDUMB Phone and what we can glean about its details. We could easily be proven wrong, and it might turn out to be a revolutionary privacy protecting tool that's a good value too. However, what we've seen so far indicates that it looks like a big politically predatory ripoff. So they have this thing broken down in the section, so bear with me. I don't know how long this article is, but when it comes to the Coonstress, I have no other choice but to go in on her every chance I get. The first section says, big warning sign, no specs. Basically, this phone, you know how when you're going to look for a phone to buy and you want to read the reviews, from people who have used it, or you want to read the specifications, see what the phone has? It has none of that. It has none of that. And it does look like a straight up regular Android phone. Let's start with the purely technical consumer-facing angle. The FreeDUMB Phone seems to have no tech specs whatsoever. Basic things like CPU, storage capacity, screen resolution, and cellular bands simply are not published anywhere on the Freedom Phone website. According to a press release sent out by the Freedom Phone, it has a 6-inch screen with a 128 gigabyte of storage. That's all the details we've seen, and the press release from March shows a different phone model photo, so even those details might be wrong. Now, listen to that. They might not have even used the picture of the phone that they're advertising. But see, but she's helping to push it. She's helping to push it. So let me continue. If you're spending $500 on a phone, you should know what's running inside it, period. You don't have to understand what all the specs are, but the information should be disclosed. As it stands, it appears the Freedom Phone is simply a bulk purchase Chinese Android phone with a light UI skin thrown over the Android OS. Specifically, it seems to be the Umidigi A9 Pro, available from AliExpress.com for $156 and purchasable in bulk from Alibaba for $118 to $135 per phone. The notch matches, the side buttons match, the camera stack matches. Everything indicates that it is indeed this phone. One you can buy with raw Android for just over a quarter of the price. So they are basically, according to this article and what they've seen, and I'm glad I'm reading it from this particular article, because these are tech people, so they really analyze and know what they're talking about. That's on a professional level. So basically what they're saying is this so-called Freedom Phone is nothing more than a exact replica of an old Android phone. And looking at it, it does look like a very old, outdated Android phone, to be quite honest. It doesn't look like the more newer ones that they have today. The next part says Freedom OS, Android for the ignorant. That mentions of raw Android brings us to the big appeal of the Freedom Phone. Freedom OS and its overwhelming freeness. Yeah, it's Android. It's Android with a skin on top. Look at one of the few pictures of what the operating system looks like on the phone. Android default app icons, Android navigation buttons on the bottom, Android status icons on the top. This is an Android device. Maybe Freedom OS really does strip out some of the tracking that Android can do and has features that preserve your privacy. The problem is that Freedom Phone doesn't actually explain how it does any of that, and there doesn't seem to be a single thing the phone can do, from limiting tracking to adding banned apps that you can't already do with Android. However, much you might complain about Google's handling of personal data or the management of its app store, and there are loads of valid complaints about both, Android is fundamentally an open source operating system built on a nearly universal system kernel. What that means, you can basically do anything on it. Is your favorite service censored on the Google Play Store? You can load it into your phone pretty easily if you have the APK file, and despite what the Freedom Phone might imply, conservative news sources like Newsmax and OAN are available on the Google Play Store along with Telegram and Rumble. Are you worried about your data being tracked? Load some privacy-minded apps like an encrypted email client, an encrypted browser, and a VPN on it. Again, those are also available on Google Play, so you don't have to wrestle with side loading. There is nothing the Freedom Phone can do that you can't do with Android. So basically, you're spending $500 to get Parler preloaded. That's it. Also, Parler's own website has a link to simply download the APK directly to your phone, so it's actually easier to load than most side loading. Guess what? If you're using cell service at all, especially with data and GPS services, that's traceable, like fundamentally. It's how the technology works, and nothing can actually prevent the telemetry and bandwidth from being seen by, at the very least, your cellular carrier. I'm glad this person, whoever wrote this article, is picking this thing apart down to the simplest things. And the thing is, they probably don't even have to do that much, because at the surface level, they see all of this for what it is anyway. And when I get to the end of the article, I'm gonna point out something that I was listening to from another YouTuber when it comes to the Coonstress and her reviewing this phone on her and putting the video up on her page, her Twitter account. If you don't know how to sideload an app or set up and use encryption on your phone, the Freedom Phone might be appealing. But at that point, it really raises the question of how much your freedom and privacy are worth to you personally. You're willing to spend $500 on a phone that claims to offer it? Okay. Is it worth putting in the work to educate yourself on how to hide your digital footprint and load unlisted apps on your phone? Because that's what really can protect your rights. Learn how encryption works. Learn how to sideload apps that have been censored. Teach yourself how to do these things, because whatever your politics is that knowledge that's actually useful in ensuring your freedoms. Don't rely on a rebadged mystery phone with vague promises of what it can do for you. Educate yourself and you'll be able to do everything your FreeDUMB Phone claims it does on any Android phone. There are some great ones for much less than the FreeDUMB Phone, and you can actually find out their specs. Don't let a waving flag and empty rhetoric trick you into paying too much money for a cheap phone with an Android skin. Especially don't let it trick you into thinking that you can just throw cash at someone and they'll protect your rights. That kind of thinking is appealing because it's easy and simple. That kind of thinking will also keep you away from actively trying to educate yourself and learn how to actually protect your rights. Why should you settle for that? So that's the entire article right there. Now I was watching a live, well, it wasn't a, it was a piece of a live stream that was chopped up into video format. The Amazing Lucas actually did a video talking about this. And one thing that he pointed out, when he pointed it out in the video, I laughed so hard. So the Coonstress, this right here is a thumbnail clip from a video that she did where she's supposedly going over the FreeDUMB Phone. And that's the phone right there in her hand. And when she posted this video, he scrolled down, because if you have a Twitter account, it'll tell you from where you posted your tweet from, like from what device. It'll either say Twitter for iPhone or Twitter for Android. Guess which one hers said? Twitter for iPhone. Now, mind you, they said that this is an Android device. They're not going to say it, but the tech person from the article I just read said this is technically an Android phone. She couldn't even cover it up by having done or posted this from an Android device to at least try to cover it up. She's not even using the phone. She's not even reviewing the phone on a phone that she's supposed to be advertising. She's most likely recording it off of her iPhone and posted it with her iPhone. And now she's trying to push this phone out there. But you want to know what's so crazy? You read all of the stuff, or hear all the stuff I just read, and hear what I just said about how, what she posted it with from what device, which might I add, wouldn't that be a competitor? Anyway, and people will still support her. At this point, they're the dumb ones. Well, shoot, before this point, they've been dumb. But I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. They couldn't get me to ever purchase this phone. I'm good with the one that I have, and it's definitely way better. I know from who I purchased it from. It was definitely a good buy. I am well aware of the specifications, and like they said, if I didn't know all of them, they're listed. And like I said, if you go to their website, it really breaks down a bunch of nothing. It's something that just sounds nice. Hell, a lot of people wanted to make fun of the quote-unquote Obama phone, but at least they knew that that phone had specifications. This one right here really doesn't. And one of the bigger things that I saw from the website was when they asked about insurance. Do you know that this phone doesn't even have an insurance policy on it? That means if you break it, or there's something wrong with your phone, or it just stops working and you maybe need a replacement, you're gonna have to buy a whole nother device. I wish I would. Like I said, what I'll do is I'll leave the link to the website below, and you can go and read it for yourself. But that insurance one really stuck out to me. I'm like, if y'all buy a phone without insurance, y'all are even more retarded. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the video on that note.